This is Joanne Sosa with the New Blues Festival on this wonderful day in Long Beach. We're at Long Beach City College, the Veterans Memorial Stadium, with Dan Jacobson. And Dan, you are the DJ, the original Kalon blues DJ. This all started in 1980, we hear. We'd like to hear it from you.
Well, yeah, the festival started in 1980, right here on this very location. But actually, what built up to that was a radio program that I launched on KLON back in 1977. And at that time, the radio station was licensed to the Long Beach Unified School District. And it had instructional programming during the daytime hours. In the evenings, they let us do different kinds of entertainment programs like classical and jazz and polka and anything you can name. But there was no blues. And so I thought, I was there. I was on the staff. I was a radio board operator, basically. And I had this idea, hey, maybe I can do a blues program. I kind of have a background in that. It's one of my favorite kinds of music. And so I made an audition tape. The program director liked it, and we started the very first blues program on KLON in 1977. It was called Blues After Hours, and we did that on a weeknight and eventually went to Sunday. And then a guy named Bernie Pearl came along.
Oh, Bernie Pearl.
Yeah, and I knew who he was. He was a really terrific blues musician and also a teacher as well. And he had this, he wanted to come by and play some records on the air on my show. And so I said, great, come on down. So we had a great time, a couple of sessions. And at that point, I was getting very busy with the station. And I thought, this might be a good time to make a transition. And since Bernie's got all this interest, and just turn the program over to him. So we did this, basically. And Bernie followed me in 1980, about 1980. And he kept the blues program going there for about 10 years or so.
Wonderful. Now, how did the station actually move, though, from where it was before to the campus?
Well, again, it started here, and what happened was the licensee of the station changed from the Long Beach Unified School District to Cal State Long Beach, the foundation there. And with that, that also meant a physical move of the radio station from Long Beach City College campus, the Pacific Coast campus, to Cal State Long Beach. And so that all happened about 1981. And that's when the Blues Festival actually moved to that location. Originally, it was called the KLON Blues and Gospel Festival when it was held here at City College. And then I persuaded the station manager to change it to a little more of a national-oriented name, basically, to the Long Beach Blues Festival. And that's what it's been since, until recently. So,
Who introduced you to the blues, Dan?
It was an old friend of mine. His name was Mike Butoric. He was a great harmonica player, but he never wanted to do it professionally. He kind of wanted to stay behind the scenes. But he was a great, he collected thousands of recordings, especially harmonica, blues harmonica people like Little Walter and Sonny Boy Williamson and people like that. Mm-hmm. And he got me kind of hooked on it. We would go to these clubs in the early 70s and see great artists like T-Bone Walker and Willie Dixon and Freddie King. And I started collecting records myself and built up a pretty good collection. And so this is like basically late 60s, early 70s. And so when I started at KLON in the mid-70s, that was my background for wanting to introduce a new blues program there.
That's wonderful. Now, we heard that, of course, you're a performer yourself and outside of the blues, and you've been doing all kinds of impersonations and music, and you do that as a living. Actually, I have your brochure right here. It's Danny Jacobson, a man of 200 voices. Now, of all the voices that you do, why don't you give us a few?
Well, I'll do a few of the actors I do to start with. I could do a little Humphrey Bogart. Allison, sweetheart, I like the looks. I tried to run a decent ship by the book, but they fought me at every turn. I was to blame for the missing peanut butter sandwiches. And then, of course, I could do Jimmy Stewart. He's one of my favorites. And then his friend is Henry Fonda. And, of course, Henry Fonda had a kind of a laid-back kind of a delivery like that. And then there was Walter Brennan. By gosh, he's an old-timer like that.
McCoy,
That's right. And, of course, there's James Mason, who's a great British actor and was in A Star is Born and so many other great films. So those are some of the actors I do, but I do many.
I also heard that you do a lot of singers, and you actually have a show that you perform, and you do the Rat Pack. You do all kinds of wonderful impersonations. Can you give us a few of your favorites?
Sure. We'll start with little Dean Martin here. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Hey, this is Tony Bennett. I left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me. And then how about to all the girls I've loved before, little Willie Nelson, who traveled in and out my door. And of course there's Johnny Cash. I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. And of course there's you can't leave out Elvis. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
So, in one of those voices, can you shout out and tell everybody to come to the New Blues Festival?
Oh, I hope you come to the New Blues Festival. I tell you, blues is one of my very favorite kinds of music. I always like to get in a tune or two, and I'm playing in Vegas. So we hope you come out and just come on out and have a great time.
Thank you so much. We're here with Dan Jacobson. Once again, he was the original blues DJ at K-Lon, predecessor to K-Jazz, giving us a history of the festival, how it came to the radio station, moved to the University of Long Beach, and now, we're looking forward to August 31st. So if you haven't got your tickets,
hey, get your tickets. I'm telling you, you got to have them. This is the place to be.
But Sean Connery would say,
but of course, if you don't, it'll be a bloody mess. I can guarantee you that.
well, one of the things we need to talk about for sure here with Dan Jacobson is the Southland Blues Magazine. Now, this was your magazine, and recently you transitioned. Tell us about the magazine, how it started, and tell us why it's so important to the blues music.
Well, Southland Blues started in 1990. Basically, there was no other print media around that was promoting the blues, and very, very few outlets anywhere, even on radio. And so I thought, people need to know where live blues is going on, So I think what I'll try to do is to put together a newsletter at first and then a magazine and list all the gigs that you can go to during the week all over Southern California. And we did that. It took off and got bigger and bigger and all that. And I took it all the way till last year when I kind of retired from it. And we're basically looking for a new owner to continue it. At this point, and but I have this new entertainment career, so I've kind of had to make a transition. But
well, we're going to talk about that entertainment career, but I know that the Southland Blues Magazine has been instrumental. Many musicians, many wonderful experiences, and very inspiring work that you do. So thank you so much. Last but not least, we'd love to know how to get a hold of you for the events that are coming up. So what's your website, phone number?
My website is Danny Jacobson. That's JACOBSON.net. Or give us a call at 562-472-1400.
And we will see you on stage, won't we, Danny?
We sure will. I'll be there.
All right. Thank you.
Howlin' Wolf, Willie Dixon, and everything. And that kind of got me started. Then I started collecting records. And I remember...
I have a fan right here. Look. He's got a little Japanese beetle.
He's a biggie.
Woo! He likes blues.
We'll get you later.
That was interesting.
Wait your turn.
Wait your
That's definitely a cut.
Wait your turn. Wait your turn.
All right. Let's go back to where we were. You can splice it to get. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's no problem.
No problem.
Just want to make sure
You got to destroy that one.
Yeah. Come over here. Oh, he's gonna
No,
splice
I think
it.
I want to interview the bug now.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Everybody's got to be a stage hog, right?
Yeah, I know.
Tell me
Make
what.
sure you guys didn't move anywhere.
Yeah. Tell me where to go. Tell me where to go. All right. We good? And then we're gonna start. We're gonna start from where? That same question.
You're all set. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna start.